I'm doing a makeup no buy for the entire year of 2025. So I've been doing a project plan. I watch a lot of content from people who are on no buys, low buys, or trying to be more conscious about their beauty consumption. And kind of taking stock of my own collection, I've decided that next year I'm not going to buy any new makeup products. So I've made a spreadsheet of all of my beauty products. This is inspired by Emma Everyday because she did this as part of her no buy, and I thought it was really interesting and I'd like to see it for my own collection. It's very much a work in progress because there's a lot to catalogue, but the complexion category alone, which was foundations, primers and concealers, added up to £305 in like recommended retail price. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought my whole collection was somewhere in that figure. So I'm completely delusional and really needed to get this data like on paper. Now I do anticipate that there may be some things that I do run out of, and by saying some things I do run out of, I'm almost certainly going to run out of concealer next year because at the moment I have only got one of them. It's the MAC Studio Radiance Concealer. So I'm thinking if I were to replace it like for like I could do that because I am going to need a concealer. That might be okay instead of trying something new and then not liking it and then it leading me to buy something else that I think's better and then that doesn't work. I think maybe like to like something I've already used and liked would be acceptable. But if you've got any ideas or advice on that, I would love to hear it. And I do plan to maybe like loosely branch this out to other categories of products like hair care and skincare. However, I don't have the same kind of thing with buying products in those categories. I've got a lot of different hair care and skincare things at the moment, but that is because I've got a beauty advent calendar that came with a lot of different things in those categories. Like I reckon I'm probably set for the next year on those anyway, barring like shampoo and conditioner, which you go through a lot quicker. And I think it will be a challenge because I've been on a bit of a weight loss journey, and when I've been like reaching certain goals and allowed myself a treat, obviously I don't want that treat to be like a food thing I really enjoy because that kind of crosses the wires of what I'm trying to achieve. Instead, this year I've been getting myself makeup treats, which is why I think my collection has got a bit out of control recently. So it's going to be finding another outlet for that dopamine hit. I think that's what I'm really going to struggle with. But I've seen so many other people saying that they're going to try the same thing next year. So I need to make sure that I'm following lots of people like that to keep myself focused and in the mindset. So if you're doing a makeup no buy in 2025, please comment below so I can follow you. I'll make another video when this spreadsheet is done so I can publicly shame myself because I'm now starting to realise that the amount of money that I have in my makeup collection is going to be extremely painful. But yeah, that's it for now and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Well, you guys, many of you know that I made this slightly unhinged commitment to finish all of my makeup, and so I want to talk about 2025 and what my goals are. I think I'm ready to lock in for a full-on no-buy for 1 year. I am a beauty content creator. How should that work that I make content about beauty without buying things? Well, that is the whole point. I just want to unhook myself from the need to buy new things. And I want to tell you guys, today I was having this thought. So I've been going back and forth a lot about if I want to buy a glitter eyeshadow palette because I want more glittery eyeshadows. But you guys have seen my makeup collection. I have a video up where I've showed you everything that I have. And I have a fair amount of things with glitter in them, but I don't have a glittery eyeshadow palette. And so my question right now with my self-control and self-restraint is, should I buy something glittery? Should I spend the $100 and get like a glittery palette? And there's a part of me that's been thinking that I wanted to do it kind of before the end of the year, or I was holding out maybe someone would give me one for Christmas, I kind of thought. But Christmas has come and gone and I don't think I'm gonna get any kind of a glitter palette. So now the responsibility's on me. So now I was actually shopping today and I found myself going on websites and putting things in cart and getting ready to buy some kind of an eyeshadow palette. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, what is the motivation for this? Do I really want a glittery eyeshadow palette because I want that. Is this even coming from me, or is this coming from me being online too much? And so I have not gone through with the purchase, and I think I don't want to buy anything new at all. Whenever you set out to achieve a new goal or take on a new challenge, it's really important to remember your why and align yourself to your North Stars. So I've put my 2 North Stars here. My primary goals are financial. I want to save money for my financial future and invest in my own financial future. I want to invest in my financial success. And I felt like buying really expensive lip glosses was draining my financial resources, actually stealing money from future me. And so I want to work on investing, building my financial future, doing smart financial decisions, saving. And for me, buying makeup on a constant and perpetual basis is out of alignment with that. I also do care a lot about the environment, and I care about waste reduction. And I noticed that collecting and gathering a lot of makeup that I couldn't use was a lot of plastic components and just a lot of packaging and a lot of junk. So those are my 2 North Stars. Tell me what you think. These are my goals.
Stop buying new makeup products and use the products you actually have, and I'm going to tell you why. In this bag, I have a ton of empties, except they're not actually empty, they're just expired. It's so frustrating. The only actually empty product I have is this thing of toner pads. It's the Sika Spot Pad from Lovem. I use these as under eye patches. I would repurchase this, however, I feel like these types of products aren't that sustainable, and I already have other toner pads that I need to use up. Now let's get into the expired makeup because it's all gone bad. First up is this Hourglass skin tint that's about 2 years old. Turns out on natural products, the 12-month expiration date is to be taken very seriously. When products don't have a ton of preservatives in them, they tend to separate. The oils can go rancid, the formulas can destabilize, a lot of gross things can happen. That's why you shouldn't overconsume anything that's labeled clean. Also, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but we need preservatives in our makeup. Not everything needs to be clean. Water is a chemical. This is my second tube of this stuff, and as much as I liked it, I will not be repurchasing because honestly, I prefer cream foundations. Next up, we have the K18 hair oil. Fortunately, this is almost empty, but any oil-based products in your collection will go rancid faster than the other products. Oils just have a tendency to do that regardless of how much fragrance or preservatives you put in here. This also was listed as having a 12-month expiration date, and it expired well before then. Next up, we have this Way hair pomade. I was actually really surprised by how quickly this expired. This is like less than 2 years old, but the smell started going off, and I looked at the ingredients, and there's soybean oil in here, which again, oils go rancid. Ugh, just smells weird. Also, fun fact, the first ingredient in this is petroleum jelly. I used to use this for slicking my hair back, and now I've moved to gel versus pomades. I will not be repurchasing because not only do I not need this in my routine, but I don't really want to put Vaseline in my hair. Curls kind of don't need that stuff. I used to go to this salon called Shizen, and this is their hair balm. It's basically just shea butter with essential oil in it. I love this product, but ever since I started wearing my hair curly, I just haven't been able to use it as much. It doesn't really work with curly hair. And I should have found another way to use it, like a hand cream or something, because this expired. It smells horrible. Gross. Next up, we have this Victoria Beckham shadow stick. This is probably about 2 years old, and the product dried out. I have products that are way older than this, so I was quite surprised when this expired. I'm not sure if you can see, but it just got really crusty and flaky, and honestly, whenever I try to use it, it crumbles on my eyelid. RIP, I did love this shade. I actually have a similar one from Bobbi Brown. I think it's called Golden Bronze. So I won't be repurchasing until that one runs out, and God knows how long that'll take. Finally, we have the Rhode lip balms. If you've watched my other empties videos recently, you know that I have beef with these products. I had a bunch of Rhode lip balms expire, and I'm not talking about smelling slightly off. I'm talking they smelled like cottage cheese, which prompted me to investigate the other Rhode products in my collection that are actually even older than those lip balms. This is the watermelon and the unscented Rhode lip balm. They both smell horrible. I'm not even gonna sniff it. No amount of fragrance can hide when a formula goes off. It's so crazy to me that I began the year with like 14 Rhode lip balms and I ended with 3. Anyway, here's a friendly reminder to not overconsume makeup because not only is it not sustainable, you end up with more product than you could possibly use, and it just results in a ton of waste and money down the drain. Shop smarter, not harder.
Let's talk about some of the easiest and hardest makeup products to actually get through. As you guys know, I've been doing a makeup buying ban for all of 2024, and I realized that there are some products that I just get through really quickly, and even if, let's say, I purchased 2 backups of it, it wouldn't lead to a hoarding type situation. Meanwhile, other products that I've bought 2, 3, 4 of, I'm just like, I am literally gonna have them for the rest of my life. So let's go through them. Let me just reapply a little bit. First things first, my favorite thing of all, powder. Now, I am a matte girly. I don't like a dewy look, and that's because I have skin texture and acne as well. I want to look like a porcelain doll, okay? And I get through like a powder a month, honestly. So I was thinking to myself, now that I'm going to replace this, I'm wondering if I should do just an order of like 2 instead of 1, just because I get through them so quickly. Similar to pressed powder, I would also say loose powder. Again, I use this on a daily to set my face, set my makeup, even though I don't get through it as quickly as I do the pressed powders, because usually loose powders do have more in the container. I still get through it at a good amount of time. Setting spray. So again, this is something that I use on daily, and this is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and I'm already up to here. I don't have backups of setting spray, so when I do repurchase this, I'm probably going to get the big bottle and call it a day. If you're a lip gloss girly, again, and you have your favorite colors on a day-to-day, then I would say lip gloss is also pretty easy to finish up. So this is an e.l.f. one I have, and I don't know if you can see, but I have used that up all the way to here. And then also there's this Fenty one. I've used this much, so I have more of this to get through. But again, if you're reapplying lip gloss every single day, multiple times a day, you usually get through it pretty quick. Brow pencils. I go through multiple brow pencils a year, maybe like 2 or something like that. But this is the main product I use to fill in my brows, and so because I use it daily, again, I go through it pretty quickly. I would say an everyday lip liner is also easy to get through. Again, this is like a natural nude or whatever is your day-to-day lip color. If you rotate through a lot of like lip liners, then sure, maybe it's harder to get through, but I feel like typically most girls have one that's their go-to for their everyday face, and I find that it's not hard if you keep using the same one to finish it up. Next, I'm going to say mascara, because again, it's something that most people use on a daily, and also because you're supposed to replace it in what is it, like 6 months, 4 months? I can't recall, but you're supposed to replace it pretty often because it does dry out and it just doesn't have a 12-month shelf life. So yeah, do I do that? No, but I guess I would say in a year I could probably use it up, and I'm okay with that. Now let's move to some of the hardest things to use up fully. The most obvious choices, highlighters. This is a lot of highlighter to get through in your whole lifetime, okay? I don't know how many years of only using this on a daily it would take me to finish it up, because for highlighters, we're not using a big amount anyway. It's slightly on the cheeks, even if we use it on the inner corners and the nose, whatever. This would just take a long time to finish. Next, I'm gonna say blush. If it's a pigmented blush, we don't need that much of it to actually show up on our face. Another reason why blush is hard to get through very quickly, it's because typically we like to vary our blush colors, so we change it from a peachy blush to a pink blush to whatever we're feeling that day. And if you're a makeup lover, it gets very boring to use the same one every single day for a whole year. This is a blush that I've hit pan on, and I'm tired of it. Like, in my mind, this is done. I don't want to even use it anymore. Like, I'm tired of this one. Similarly, liquid blushes. Now again, I have a couple of liquid blushes, and for the ones that are very pigmented, you literally need a dot, maybe 2 small dots on each cheek for it to blend out. And the fact that I have 3, so 2 liquid and 2 cream, I can't justify buying another one because it's going to take me so long to get through all of these. The next items I'm going to say are lipstick and lip liners that aren't your everyday colors. This is a purple lip liner, and I think I've had this for, I don't know, like 5 years more. I can't remember when I bought this, and I also can't remember the last time that I used it. It's probably not going to be my go-to, and it's going to be really hard to get through all of this. Similarly for lipsticks, this is like a very orangey red. This is, again, I don't know how many times in a year I would actually use this lipstick, maybe once or twice. 3 times. Honestly, 3 times would be too much. Like, I never feel like a red lip. I don't like red lips on me. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to get through this in years. Next, I'm going to say potted eyeliners and potted eyebrow pomades. You get a lot of product in these, and you need so little product to actually do whatever you need to do on your eyebrows and for your eyeliner, that I feel like these dry out before you can get through the whole pot. I also don't know anybody that's finished like a full pot of eyebrow pomade or eyeliner. Look at how much is in here, and again, it's dried out a little bit. I feel like if I'm only using this for eyeliner, it could last me years and years and years. And last but certainly not least, my favorite product of all, which I'm sure you guys can guess, eyeshadow palettes. Tell me when's the last time you've seen somebody use up every single eyeshadow in an eyeshadow palette. Don't hoard eyeshadow palettes. You're not going to be able to get through them. Try to go for smaller eyeshadow palettes, like ones that just have maybe 4 or 5 colors, because typically what happens is in whatever palette you're using, you have 2 or 3 colors that you go to and the rest go untouched. So yeah, eyeshadow palettes, you know my sentiments on that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. See you on the next one.
recently looked into how many makeup products of each product category I have. Results were a bit concerning. Because of that, I decided that I'm gonna go on a makeup no-buy. So now I'm on a journey of using up all my makeup that I've bought in the last 5 years. But to make sure that I'm actually gonna do it, I'm gonna document it here on my TikTok account. You guys are gonna keep me accountable because you were supporting me a lot for this. This is gonna be like day 1 or part 1 for this series to motivate myself to use my products and not buy new ones. Start by actually cleaning out my makeup drawer, which is horrific right now. It's honestly no wonder that I haven't been motivated to do my makeup. I just have too much of it, so we're gonna go through this. And I don't want to cheat my way through this, but there is some extremely expired products here. But I'm gonna show how much of each category I'm gonna throw out, so you know that there's still a lot for me to use here. Of cleaning the drawer, we're gonna throw out all the things that I think would give me pink eye. Mascaras and stuff, I'm not risking it, honestly, I'm not risking it. So out of all the stuff that I just showed you, only this much I'm gonna throw out immediately. This is how much money I wasted based on those products. Now let's get to the rest of them.
These are makeup categories I try not to buy anymore and why I think you shouldn't either. Also, this is geared more towards people who have a substantial makeup collection. First off is bronzer and contour. I really think you only need like 1 or 2 max, maybe like a cream and a powder. And when a brand comes out with a new one of these, it's an easy pass for me. Next up is lip balms. I just think they all kind of look the same, they all kind of do the same thing, and since the tint is usually so sheer if it's tinted, it just looks the same. If you've already found a lip balm or like 2 that you like, I don't really see a point in collecting multiple. In a similar vein, lip glosses. Again, especially because lip glosses are usually so sheer, they all end up looking the same. So if you already have a few favorites, like I love the Fenty one, the Tower 28 ones, I feel like there's kind of no point in collecting more. And I also love glossy lip tints more than lip glosses because they last longer. And lastly, we have foundations and concealers. I feel like unless your skin tone is changing a lot, there's no point in buying more than like 5-ish foundations and concealers if you already have the ones you like.
My top 3 tips for starting a no-buy in 2025. So I know a lot of us are doing this. Some people might be doing low buys, some people might be doing no buys. I'm personally continuing with my no buy because I still don't feel like I've got complete control of my makeup shopping. So tip number 1, define your goals. What is the reason that you're going on a no buy? Is it to save money? Is it to pay off debt? Is it to break the cycle of overconsumption? Do you have too many products and you want to use them up? It's so important that you have a good goal in place. Your goal is what's going to drive you through however long you're doing a no buy, whether it's 1 month, 3 months, a whole year. Set those goals, because that is what you're working towards. The second tip is create the rules. So what are the rules around your no buy? What are you allowed to buy? What are you not allowed to buy? Consider everything going on in your life as well. Are you allowed to receive gifts? Are there potential expenses that are going to come up that you haven't thought about? Consider potential scenarios that might come up. Like if it's specifically beauty related, are you allowed to buy replacements? Are there specific replacements you're allowed to buy? For my makeup replacements, I'm only allowing myself to rebuy my Ilya mascara and my Pat McGrath under eye powder. And the reason for this is because I've got so many other products in all other categories that I definitely don't need replacements. So create the rules, write them down on your notes app or write them down with pen and paper. Make sure they're achievable. Don't go so strict that it's completely impossible to achieve. And the last tip is take inventory of what you've currently got. So whether you're doing the no buy for clothing, makeup, skincare, have a look at what you've already got, because this is going to help you to appreciate what you already have. It's going to make you not want to buy anymore, because I think a lot of people who start a no buy have a huge amount of whatever they're not allowing themselves to buy. So I find this so helpful. You don't have to write it all down in a spreadsheet or anything. I feel like if I tried to do that, it would take me months and months to do it. Instead, I'm going to be making videos. I'm going to be showing each makeup category individually, and then I'm also going to be trying to show my full makeup inventory all in one go. So those are my top 3 tips for getting started with your no buy. I'm going to be showing other videos about how to get through the first month, how I cope with shopping temptation, just basically everything I've learned through doing 10 months of a no buy this year. If you've got any great tips for getting started, please put them in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye. Why I'm not decluttering any makeup at all in January and the rest of my 2025 no buy rules. So first of all, the specifics of the no buy. So it starts on the 25th of December, and I've said the 25th of December because that's the last day that I open my advent calendar. End is to be confirmed. I'm saying the end of January, but I'm going to review it around the mid to end of January and decide how I feel and if I want to continue. I have a sneaky feeling that I'm probably going to continue past January. Things I'm not allowed to buy: makeup, skincare, clothing, shoes, accessories, hair care.
and Amazon purchases. So me and my wife are both doing a no buy as well. And we end up ordering a lot of random stuff from Amazon. So we're going to try, at least for January, to not order any random stuff from Amazon. All of the others, really self-explanatory. Makeup right there at the top, because that's my trouble area. So on the allowed list, this is everything that I'm allowed to buy. £100 per month budget for fun. This is like going out for food, takeaway, cinema, going out for coffees, and this is across my wife and myself. Skincare replacements, if the no buy continues past January. I definitely don't need any replacements in January. 2 books, so I originally said 1 book, but I changed it to 2 books because I want to read a lot next year. And makeup replacements, if the no buy continues after January. And currently the only 2 items I'm allowed to replace is the Pat McGrath powder and the Ilia mascara. I don't know why it says on, I think it's a typo. Now let's talk through the other rules, and on some of these I'd love to get your thoughts too. So the first one is no makeup decluttering in January. There's a couple of reasons for this. Firstly, I don't want to do anything that's going to tempt me to buy more makeup. Also, I've seen a lot more people doing declutters since the Buy Now documentary came out. I don't feel like decluttering is the answer to overconsumption. People are like, I want to become an under consumer, so I'm just going to get rid of all my stuff. And I don't think it works like that. So I am going to be continuing to do declutters after January, but I'm going to plan it out really carefully and just like do it more strategically. I'm not aiming to get my collection to a certain size. I just want to have the perfect makeup collection for me. No restrictions on colourful eye makeup, so I can use all of my blush, all of my eyeshadow, all of my lipstick. There's just no project pan happening on those. And then a project pan for no colourful makeup, so foundation, concealer, brows, mascara, everything that's a non-colourful product is going into a project pan, and I'm going to use the same products every single day. The next one is one that I really want to get your thoughts on. So during January, I'm not allowed to talk about any products that I haven't owned or previously owned and decluttered. So this means no more new makeup releases, no more talking about new products coming out. I'm just not allowed to talk about any makeup that I've never owned. Please let me know your thoughts on this one, because I feel like I talk about makeup that I'm tempted by or new makeup coming out quite a lot. No to accepting any new PR or collabs. Just don't want to take in any new makeup at all in January, and this includes PR and gifts. No browsing beauty sites in January. So if you saw my We Listen and We Don't Judge video, I check Cult Beauty and Beauty Bay every day. I'm challenging myself to not do that at all. And lastly, doing some sort of clothing challenge. I don't know what this looks like yet, but I have so many clothes and I hate most of them. So I'm gonna have a good think about this one, but I really want to do some sort of challenge around my wardrobe and around my style as well. So that's all of my 2025 no buy rules. Let me know what you think and let me know what your rules are too. And thanks for watching. Bye.
I have a makeup collection reminiscent of a 2016 beauty YouTuber, so I'm putting myself on a makeup and skincare no-buy for all of 2024. So these are the rules and my explanation behind all of them. So first of all, no buying any new makeup or skincare from now for all of 2024. So yeah, just not buying anything new. A whole year is a really, really long time. So although I'm doing it for a whole year, I still want to celebrate weekly and monthly milestones. So if I haven't bought any makeup for a few weeks, it's still something to celebrate. If I haven't bought makeup for a few months, that's also something to definitely celebrate. So yeah, focusing on that. No trying new products. So this is my absolute downfall. I absolutely love trying new formulas, new shades, new items. Like, yeah, that's my absolute, yeah, love it. So no trying new products at all. Number 4, replacements allowed if I don't have a suitable alternative. So I have like maybe 40, 50 foundations. Like if my absolute favorite foundation runs out, then I'm only allowed to buy a new one if I don't have another foundation that I also love. So even if it's not my favorite, but I do have another foundation that I love, not allowed. Monthly declutters. So as I'm like not buying new products, I'm going to have to use the products that I already have and are already in my collection. So if I'm using products and I don't love them, they've got to go. And by got to go, I mean if they're expired, they're going in the bin. If not, then I'm going to try and sell them, give them away to family and friends, or even donate them to women's shelters or charities that you can donate lightly or unused makeup. I'm also going to be putting goals in place, like things like project pans, goals for using products a certain amount. Yeah. And lastly, I want to share, I've had a lot of people asking me to share reviews about different products. I am all for that, and I will be sharing genuinely honest reviews, but it is always on the premise of you making better decisions. So I am not here to promote you to buy loads of products or turn into an overconsumer like me. I just want to give honest advice from someone who isn't getting paid for it, who isn't receiving PR, just someone who's invested well, I say invested, who spent a lot of money on makeup and is now trying to change their ways and get down to a minimal and curated collection.